right, welcome everyone to the IWM broadcast of the iNASCAR Bass Pro Shops 250 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Thank you for tuning in to the IWM broadcast. I'm Rick Souza, joined here in the booth tonight with my special broadcasting guest, David Watts, and we're here, David, to enjoy. This is a playoff cutoff race that makes it that much more interesting.
Yes, welcome everyone, and look forward to a lot of good racing tonight. It's nice short track racing.
Sure is. So Bristol always sets up to be exciting, especially with the great racers that we have in this league. They're at this is the cutoff race in their round of 16. So let's bring up the graphic for where they stand currently in their point standing. So right now, two drivers have punched their ticket into the playoffs. That's Jeffrey Brogdon and Eric Jeffers. They've won the previous two races here, and now we're good to go. They're fine. And a number of guys are right there. They're safe. Alec Murphy, Jordan Wenzel, Travis Bennett, those guys are good to go. But when you look at the other side and you look at those drivers who are on the cut line, so 12 drivers will advance from the round of 16 to the round of 12. And right there at the 12th spot is Simon Magnan. Ahead of him, Anthony Japs, Jeremy Briggs. Those guys are all within 2 points of each other. Even Michael Whitley at 2070, he's just 5. Really off the cut line is only 7 points. And you've got Jared Audette right there with 2051. Richard Mills 2043. So if those guys are able to pull it off or win the race, they stand a great chance of being able to punch their ticket into the next round.
Yeah, probably going to be some fierce fighting up front when they all get up front.
Well, it's a 250 lap event, so let's take this opportunity to take a look at exactly just what's our race info for tonight's event. So, iNASCAR Bass Pro Shops 250 brought to you by this iNASCAR Racing Series. The race tonight, 250 laps. There is a stage break at lap 83. They do have a choose rule in effect for the leader, and what that means is that if at the caution, the person who is in the lead, who is the control car, gets to choose where they want the low line or the high line, and that is a huge advantage here at Bristol, especially.
Yes, it also looks like we have one fast repair, 50% fuel, and 6 sets of tires.
You got it. So now it is a bit warm on the track. It's 90 degrees. It is air temperature 79, 43% humidity, so a little bit sticky here in Bristol, as you would expect in this part of the country. But it should make sure for a fun race. Now, let's look at the IWM keys to tonight's race. Let me bring that up. So, go ahead, David.
Looks like key number 1 is going to be stay out of trouble.
So,
number 2.
Yeah, so I was going to say, so easy to do here. Since this is a giant bowl, it doesn't take much, especially coming off one of those corners, coming out of 2 or out of 4, to lose a little bit of grip, and especially here because there is such a huge angle between the apron of the track and the racing surface.
And number 2, use the high line.
Super important, especially what we were talking about before. If you're the leader and you're coming to a restart, you're going to choose that high line every time. Even though iRacing wants to put you to the inside, you watch that leader every time. They're going to take that high line.
And number 3, pit entry and exit. It is tricky.
It is, and you not only do you drop off quickly off the banked racing surface into the apron to get onto pit road, but it's slow. What's the pit road speed? Is it 35?
Yeah, 35 miles per hour, and it is long.
Yeah, to get onto pit road, it takes you all the way around, and so the driver will spend nearly a minute getting onto pit road for plus a time for service. Now, what's incredible about that is under green flag conditions, it only takes about 15 seconds or less to get around this track. So that means by the time you drop down onto the apron to get into pit road, get service, say you got all fuel and tires, and then get back on the track, you're down 4 laps.
Oh yeah, I run 300 laps here last night in another series, and had a little wreck. And by the time I got on and off pit road, I was 11 laps down.
It does not take much time, and boom, you've got to hope that it's green flag conditions and it stays green through the pit cycle, because you want everybody to get through it under green, or else you're going to wind up with a whole bunch of off-cycle pit stops to find yourself trying to battle back to get a lap back.
And it does make restarts confusing.
Absolutely. So you may see the admins maybe add a lap or so to the yellow flag conditions to try and get the field organized and back under order. We've got about 19 competitors here tonight, so it should not be hard for those guys to get things sorted out. But we'll play it by ear and see how it goes.
Yes, look forward to some good battles up front tonight. People fight for that playoff position.
Yeah, we'll definitely see it. We've got some fantastic racers here: Eric Jeffers, Jordan Wenzel, Jared Audette. All of these guys we've seen before. Jeff Brogdon, fierce competitors, respectful but fierce competitors. They want their spot, and they're on the cut line, like we're watching Simon Magnan go around here. If you're on that bubble, you want to make sure that you are able to stay ahead of those guys behind. So if you're Simon, right there in the 12th spot, you're looking in your rearview mirror, because if you want to stay ahead of Jared Audette, you want to stay ahead of Richard Mills, you want to stay ahead of Vince Burns and Vernon Broadbeck. But let's make sure. So we are missing. So Richard Mills is here. Vernon did not make the show as of yet, but Vince Burns is there. So he's got Jared Audette, Richard Mills, and Vince Burns. Vince Burns is only 22 points out. So
yeah, it's going to be interesting tonight to see how Jeff and Eric play this, since they're already automatically in.
All right, so we're about to go qualifying. And we're expecting to see some drivers out. We'll see. Let's pick up who is on track coming out now. That is Martin Giro is currently on track.
Yeah, it looks like he's running about one lane up off the bottom.
Oh, a little loose there. Oh, and contact. That will certainly affect his qualifying lap. Let's pick up Eric Jeffers. Also loose and contact with Eric Jeffers. We'll jump over to Jordan Wenzel. He's done and qualifying. Let's look at Alex Murphy.
That's the same thing I found last night. Those corners, new slick tires, it is slick.
Jay Schultz. Queensland. He is definitely in Australia.
Yeah. Queensland, Australia.
A local boy.
Yeah. I think I've been there.
Really?
I think I was there in the 80s.
I heard it's beautiful.
If they have oil wells, I've been there.
Now he dropped off the racing surface a bit there, but he was able to get around. Pick up Eric Thomas making his way. He may have touched the wall a little bit there, so you've really got to be careful here with iRacing. You don't want to have any contact with the wall. It will affect potentially your qualifying.
Looks like the Rolls has been bounced off the wall a couple of times.
Absolutely, yeah.
We still have Simon at the top there.
Yeah, Simon is still currently on the leaderboard. Let's go ahead and bring up that best time on our tower. Got a little bit of a delay currently with our tower. But qualifying is about to wrap up here.
It looks like Simon's going to lead it off. I bet he's happy about that.
Yeah, he absolutely, I mean, that time that he put in, I think was a 14:57. That is a great qualifying time here at Bristol.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. That's a great time. And qualifying is not my forte, unfortunately.
All right, so so you're seeing Simon Magden is currently top the leaderboard. You've got Eric Jeffers right there, will be on his inside or outside when he chooses to line up. Then you've got Jordan Wenzel there is in third, Alex Murphy. I think that's the only person. There are a few folks that did not qualify. Jason Hale, Travis Bennett, and Martin Giroux did not. Their times did not count. They may have had an issue in the qualifying process. So
that's easy to do at this track.
It absolutely is. All right, so we're about to get this race underway. Again, 250 laps. The iNASCAR Bass Pro Shops 250 here, brought to you by the iNASCAR Racing Series. And again, we thank you for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network. We're able to bring these types of races to you here on Thursday nights. We also have a Wednesday night series. That is the Tech for Troops Cup Series, and they're also in their playoff race. In fact, they will now be in the round of 10 starting next week at Homestead.
Yes, they're running pretty good over there.
Yep, they sure will. So what we've got here is they've got about 5 minutes of warm-up time, and that gives the driver an opportunity, if you choose to get back out on the track, take a few more laps, and get some more time in. You know, of course, these aren't professionals. This is not what they do all day long. They've got their day gig, and get a chance to come out, run some laps, have some fun. Sometimes you'll get time for practice, so this sort of gives you a chance to get some practice in.
Yes, I run as many laps as I can when I start these things.
So a number of drivers are on pit road. Others just basically taking a breather to wait out that little bit of time. I'm going to see if I can reach out to a driver real quick. Hey, Jeff, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good. Welcome to the broadcast. We think we have a little warm-up time, and you weren't out there. We'd pull you in for a quick chat. What's your thoughts tonight?
I'm not very good here, so my thoughts are survive and try not to kill anybody while I'm doing it.
Well, we kind of, when we looked at our keys to tonight's race, I'll just pop those up real quick.
Yep.
Staying out of trouble is number one.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Then, of course, obviously using the high line, that's the best way to get around this track.
Yeah, if you want to be fast, definitely.
Yep, yep. Well, sometimes being fast enough, it'll keep you out of trouble as well. So,
Yeah, I'm okay with where I'm starting at. I think I could have gone faster, but I'm okay with it. I think I'll be in front of some of the melee that goes on. So
I had a question for you. This is David Watts. Do you find that the high line wears tires a little more than the low line?
it depends on what tire you're trying to wear. The low line, it'll wear your right front a whole lot more, so it'll make you tight later in the run. And the high line wears the right rear, so it'll make you loose coming off the corners. So whatever suits your driving style is what I'm aiming for. So I don't mind driving a tight car, so I'll probably be on the bottom when I can.
Okay, well, at least you got a plan.
Yeah, the plan is not to hit anything and not to take anybody out. So
right.
Hey, plan's a plan.
Yep. All right, Jeff. Hey, we'll let you get back at it, and we appreciate you dropping in. So thanks very much, and good luck to you.
All right, boys, have a good race.
Thanks, you too. All right, that's Jeff Brogdon. He is currently going to be out there. We'll be watching Jeff. Let's see if we can find Mr. Simon Magden. Let's see if he's still if he's in the Discord here. I don't think I see him in the Discord, but let's find Jared Audette. Got a minute here. Let's see if Jared's available. Oh, I'm striking out here. I'm just looking around for some of those guys who may be like right on the cut line. Well, Vince Burns is here. Let's see if we can pull Vince in real quick. Hey, Vince, how are you? Welcome to the broadcast booth for the last minute here. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Good. We're looking forward to watching you. Those guys who are at or just at the cut line, you're certainly our focus for tonight.
Yeah, we got to, keep it on the road and try to avoid everybody else if we can. It's going to be fun tonight. A lot of activity out there. I'll tell you what.
How was practice for you?
Practice felt pretty good. I was a little slow to start off with, but I started coming in a bit of a groove. So hopefully it'll keep on going through the race.
You got it. Well, good luck to you, and we'll be watching you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, there you go. So that's Vince Burns. Now, Vince is right there. He's just a few points away from that cut line. He's looking to earn his way in, or, hey, more importantly, let's win the race. So we'll keep a lookout for here. So we're about to get underway here. As soon as the official scoring information is in, we'll bring you that grid, and we'll let you see what's going on here. But it's a beautiful day in Bristol, a little bit overcast there, so that may make for some changing race conditions on the track itself. All right, so we'll start gridding up soon. All right, so now that they're gridding up, let's go ahead and bring up our grid. All right, starting in first on the pole, Simon Magden. To his outside, Eric Jeffers. Jordan Wenzel sits in third. Alex Murphy to his outside. Jeff Brogdon is in fifth. Vince Burns in sixth. Jared Audette in seventh. Michael Whitney is in eighth. Eric Thomas in ninth. And Jay Schultz is in 10th.
Like in 11th, we have Richard Mills. Outside of him is Matt Allen. Followed by Eric Thomas. Outside of him is Joe Schultz. Richard Mills starting 11th, Matt Allen 12th, Jeremy Briggs 13th, 14th Dan Hughes.
15th is Martin Pinnell, 16th is Corey Bunch, Travis Bennett is in 17th with Martin Giroux in 18th, and Jason Hale is in 19th. All right, we're watching the pace car take these guys around, and we're watching here. The most important thing that we want to see is what happens right now on the track. Sorry for that overlay, folks. We had the keys to the game up on the broadcast while we were calling out the starting order. We're watching, our eyes are on the 17th, Simon Magden, as he takes us down to the green flag. "19 competitors here tonight. Cut race again. Pace car has dropped off through the Geico restart zone, and green. We are green here at Bristol in the iNASCAR Bass Pro Shops 250. Simon Magden moves out of that low line and runs right up to the top line. You do have the 81 of Jordan Wenzel dropping down low, side by side. Oh, contact, a little bit of contact between those drivers, and that's going to happen here. It's inevitable at Bristol.
Yeah, it's going to happen constantly.
Thought there was a little bit of contact with the 30 of Alex Murphy there in the wall. Again, super easy to do here. Jordan Wenzel now shows us the way around. He has moved out to front, ahead of Simon Magden. Eric Jeffers sits in third, Alex Murphy in fourth. And as you're watching the banners and the NASCAR tower, you see the driver that's highlighted in red. Those are playoff drivers.
Looks like Simon just got in the wall there. Just dropping back.
I think that's actually the 81 of Jordan Wenzel.
81? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's the 81 of Jordan Wenzel, who has had some contact with that safer barrier. And, that's like, when your car runs up against and touches that safer barrier, it's like glue. It just sucks you in, and it's sometimes hard to get that car off while you're unfortunately doing a bit of damage. Yeah, he is struggling with the outside wall. He may have some damage. Oh, and contact with the 50. That's going to bring out a yellow flag here. That's the 81 and the 50 of Martin Giroux.
Yeah, he had dropped way back. I don't think his car was quite steering right. If you bend that toe link even just a little bit, it's hard to steer.
So we're watching in replay here. You've got the 50 of Martin Giroux.
Yeah.
Let's back it up just a little bit. Yeah, we definitely think that the toe link may have been damaged on the 81 here. Now he's staying in that high groove. He's not coming off, but there is contact right there with the wall.
Yeah.
At the same time, the 50 is moving up, and you can cross into that seam. And I think it was just, unfortunately, a racing incident between those two drivers.
Yeah, it's just that nobody at fault there.
All right, our first caution of the night at lap 242, just 9 laps in.
It's way too early to make a pit stop.
It is too early, but of course I think Jordan Wenzel is in. Martin Giroux, or they're both on pit road.
Right.
Getting some damage repaired. Working their way around. We'll keep an eye on Jordan as he's coming down. See what we can see. Again, if you are going to pit, do it under caution because you won't get so badly lapped as you would under green flag conditions. It's not any tire changing, but I think he may have just used his quick repair and get back out here.
Yeah, it's way too early to be using that quick repair.
It's unfortunate, but so a couple of things. Quick repair. If you're unfamiliar with that term or what that means, that is when a drive in the league, when you can set it up, you have the ability to basically get a do-over, kind of like pulling that car out of the trailer and being able to put it back on the field. Any damage you've got, you can institute and you get a brand new car. Great to have in your pocket, and especially with a 250 lap race. You want to hang on to that for as long as you can.
And I found out last night that if you damage that toe link, it's about a 5-minute repair.
If you do that just under time, absolutely.
Yes.
5 minutes equates to 20 laps, unfortunately.
Yes.
All right, about to go back to green flag racing. Simon Magden is our control car, and we are back under green here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
And he got a great restart there.
He sure did. Lots of action going on with back in the pack. We're still 2x2 mid-pack. Well, a little bit of movement with the 27 there, that 127 of Matt Allen. A little bit of loose. Some checking up the lines here. Part of this is trying to figure out where you want to run, and if you want to run on that high line and you don't have a way to get up there, it's going to drive you crazy until you can finally find the spot to move up that matches to your driving style. So if you are prepared to run, down low the whole race, if you can't get there, that just makes you that much more anxious as you go around this track.
And I imagine the majority of drivers tonight are going to be on that high.
Oh, in the wall.
Oh, good.
That brings out our second caution of the night.
Jay Schultz.
Yeah, I think Jay was involved with another driver. I think it was the 01 of Travis Bennett, but not sure. Let's go back and see if we can grab a replay here. That's Jay Schultz to the outside in the 27, the 01 of Travis Bennett below, and just coming up, unfortunately, he just was not clear.
It's hard to hold it down coming out of those corners. It has a natural tendency to drift up to the top lane.
Now, if you're watching at home and you're saying, well, wait a minute, he didn't really touch him, but the car just kind of moved around. Some of that is what you may hear some of us say, net code. Like right there, it doesn't look like contact, but unfortunately, or part of the fact is that this is a computer simulation, and the iRacing gods that are in control of the event mathematically figure the way you're going and the way that car is going, you're gonna make contact. So that's how it's represented.
I've been a programmer for 50 years, and it actually amazes me that they can actually even do this.
So 19 laps complete of our scheduled 250. We are having our second caution of the night. Thank you for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network, bringing you this race live here. You're going to say something, David?
No, I was just there. Those two cars are back down on pit road, getting a little damage repaired.
Yep.
Hopefully it wasn't too much.
Yeah, Travis Bennett is coming out. He's right now coming off pit road. That's him in the 81. I'm sorry, the 01 coming off of pit road. I think Jay Schultz also went down pit road and got some work done. And again, like you indicated, they may not use their fast repair. They may choose to elect just to get a little bit of just that damage repaired under time. So how that works with iRacing is that if you do come down onto pit road, and your car will virtually repair not all of it, but some as you sit there in your pit stall.
Yeah, you have two modes. You have stuff that you can repair real quick, and you've got another 5 minutes in case of broken toe links or some of that. You don't have to get repaired, but you're not going to run as fast as you should.
No. And no, Bristol here is not the track where you are concerned so much about aero or bodywork. It's really motor and suspension parts like a toe link or other types of damage.
Right.
Well, the lights are off on top of our pace car, which means only one thing, that we're about to go back to green flag racing. And Simon Magden, who chose this time, he elected to start on the outside, leads us off with a great jump.
Man, he's got some great restarts.
Kind of looking back through the field here as these guys are working their way back up. Oh, spinning. That's a 55 going around.
Easy, who pinned up against the wall.
That was Vince Burns. Lots of cars are involved. That's Matt Allen involved, Vince Burns, Jay Schultz again involved, I think. Corey Bunch as well.
They always talk about the big ones at the big tracks, the super speedways, but you can have a big accident here too.
Let's see if we can get an idea as to just what happened there. What's in the 94? And the 55.
That's the number 5 down there.
Yep, comes up low. Spins the 55 of Vince Burns.
Yeah, Richard Mills, number 5 there.
Yep, the 93 then comes up. 127 gets involved. That's Corey Bunch in the 93. Not what you wanted to see. A number of guys now are finding themselves on pit road. 55 is still pointing the wrong direction.
Looks like Martin Giroux there slipped through real nicely.
All right, back live, lap 26 under our third caution of the night. Guys are coming down to get some repairs done, and eventually, once you use up your fast repair, all you've got is time. At that point,
you're going to be sitting there. It's not so much aero damage as it is, you find you get a lot of wheel damage in this race.
All right, so Simon Magden will still continue to be out front.
Eric Jeffers is right there beside him.
So I think part of this is just learning, especially on this track with where these guys are, is to just be, some situational awareness. Where am I in relationship to the guy on the outside as I'm coming up? Because this is a bowl, and centrifugal force and inertia is going to take you up that track. If there's someone up there, you've really got to be prepared.
Yeah, and you can't concentrate on that car directly in front of you. You've got to have your eyesight set 3 or 4 cars in front of that.
All right, we appreciate you tuning in tonight to the IWM Broadcast Network. We do know that it is a choice, whether you want to sit and watch, listen to us broadcast, or look at something else. We appreciate you tuning in, and all we ask, if you could, is to choose that subscribe or that like button and follow along so you can stay updated as to other events that we've got going on here at the IWM Broadcast Network.
Yeah, and I want to thank Rick Susan for inviting me to participate tonight.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
This is my first time doing this.
Well, David is volunteered. We've got a number of guys who are actually at the Bristol race right now and couldn't be here, but we are back under green.
We get such a good start that time.
Eric Jefferson is right there.
Right behind him, Alex Murphy.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's going to be hard to pass. I discovered that last night.
Yeah, it is definitely a challenge, especially if everybody's under the same conditions, whether it's tires or fuel, because fuel does affect the way the car drives. It's all things being equal, it is tough to get around here and then execute a pass.
Yeah, the lighter that car gets, the more it has a tendency to drift up towards that wall.
We're watching the 14 of Jeff Brogdon there on the tail of Alex Murphy. Then behind, you can see the 81 of Wetzel right there, trying to figure out how to get around the 5 of
All lined up single file, trying to figure out how to get around the car in front of him.
So that's the 9 of Jason Hale. Jason dived down lower, a little bit of a gutsy move because again, you drop that left front tire onto that apron. It has going to severely impact the ability to get around the track. It may give up the racing course.
Yeah, there's quite a few bumps down there too. Really throw you off.
Definitely a good chance to upset the car.
Jason Hale's choosing to run that low line corners.
Yeah, he's looks like he just moved right up to the in front of the 01 of Travis Bennett. Oh, and there's contact there.
Yeah. Thought they were going to go 3 wide there for a second.
Yeah, that's always a challenge. So the 01 of Travis Bennett is just kind of staying up, trying to run that high line consistently. He's got the 93 behind him with Corey Bunch. It's Jason Hale who is kind of, he's got his own line. And he is trying to run it as best he can. A little bit of contact with the safer barrier a second ago. He is too wide right now. That is the 27 of Jay Schultz. All right, back up front, Simon continues to show us the way around the track. He's got Eric Jeffers behind him, Jeff Brogdon, Michael Whitley, Jordan Wenzel, Alex Murphy. Jared Audette, Eric Thomas, Richard Mills, and Martin Giroux fills out the top 10.
They've got a pretty good pace going now.
Yes, he's going to settle down a little bit.
Once you get out single file, we settle down quite a bit because it is hard to pass here. Broken, blinking there a little bit.
And Eric Jeffers just tried to take the little bit different approach, again to drive down a little bit lower. One of the things that just to point out is that the leader's doing on a lap of 15:04. The guy who's in 17th spot, 15.38. So, there's only 0.3 that separates first to last.
That's not very much.
So we should be able to bring up the track now. Give you an idea. So right now leading in the 17 is right there. You can see him highlighted in that green around the 17. So pretty much you can see we're still all said and done. We are nose to tail. Everybody is still on the lead lap. I think the other person who may be out right now getting repairs made is Dan. He is still in the race.
Now that pretty much dashes his hope for the night.
All right, 49 laps in the books, 50 laps. Oh, and we're now under caution again. looks like Martin Jerome.
Jerome.
Yeah. Let's go back and just see what happened to Martin. And I think it's probably going to be the same case we talked about before as you're exiting off of a corner right there coming down. There's
A little bit of net code.
Yep. Not actual contact, but close enough to replicate. And unfortunately, that causes Martin to spin. He's locked his brakes up, trying to stay out of the wall. A little bit of contact, not terrible.
Not too bad. He's going to need some new tires, though.
Yep, absolutely. Oh,
Well, he's going to go back and hit it again.
yeah, he wasn't satisfied with how he hit it the first time.
Can always do better.
You can always do better. So we do have some action on pit road.
Yeah, when you get into that corner, you just got to apply just the smallest amount of brake. Just about 10%, 10-15% brake before you get to that corner. And if you hold it too long, you're going to go straight up the track.
So right now you're on pit road. You got Alex Murphy, Jeff Brogdon, Vince Burns, Jai Schultz, Matt Allen, Jeremy Briggs, Travis Bennett, Jason Hall, Martin Giroux on pit road. Martin, obviously, result of that incident, who has not pitted. And this is where things get to be a little bit tricky, is that you've got your leader, Simon Madigan, who did not come down pit road. Eric Jeffers in second. Michael Whitney did not come down pit road. Jordan Wenzel did come down way early. He was involved in that incident around lap 9, but he just came in and grabbed fuel. Corey Bunch was involved in an incident on lap 24, and he did get tires from what we can tell. But what's the point I'm trying to make is that you have got from 10th to 18th, those drivers, those 10 drivers who are in those positions, all have fresh tires, and they'll be working their way back up through this field when we go back to green.
And it's surprising the leaders did go in. They've got 6 sets of tires, which is plenty for a 250 lap race.
Well, lap 54, 55 here. And we'll have to double check that tire count, David. We'll have to make sure that is the correct amount, but we believe it is. All right, lights are off on top of our pace car. The 17 has chosen the outside lane. That was successful for him under his last restart. Our fourth caution of the night. And we're back to green flag racing.
Yep. Simon got a great restart again.
Absolutely. That 81 of Jordan Wenzel on the outside. He's taking that high line. Good. Eric Jeffers staying on that low line. Of course, with fresh tires, you can do that. You may have heard in our pre-race interview with Jeff Brogdon, certainly that discussion about just where the tires wear here, and you heard him say that if you're running the low line, you're going to find that you're going to wear out that right front, which will end up causing that car to push. If you run the high line, it'll be the right rear that wears out. All what you want to anticipate. Oh, well, yellow's back out.
Or back in the pack, number 9.
Yep, that's Jason Hale involved in an incident on the backstretch.
That's his second incident tonight.
It is. Let's see if we can figure out. I think Martin Pinnell was involved Eric Thomas. We're watching the 9 here. See what we see. Right there. Right
Yep.
there. You'll see, we'll go back just a little bit here in the replay as he comes off the corner, off of 4. You can see his right rear steps out a little bit. He's trying to correct it, but as it is, it's super hard. And unfortunately, he wound up coming up into the 32 of Eric Thomas. Eric had no place to go at that point and winds up, unfortunately, right there. The 127 gets collected in the back.
Matt Allen.
That's Matt Allen again. Then the 55 is also involved.
Vince Burns.
A little bit of bumper cars going on. All right. 5th caution of the night. 61 laps complete.
Do you know if there's an incident penalty in tonight's race?
I don't know, but well, you know what? I do know, but I don't know the numbers. Now we do have a stage break coming in on lap 83. There is a stage break, and I'm guessing that your leaders are holding out for that stage break.
Right, 80 to 85 laps is what you can get on tank of fuel.
Well, I think with the fact that we've got so many cautions, this being our 5th, that they're able to probably stretch that out just a little bit.
I'm sure.
You see the 9 of Jason Hale on pit road. He's probably just using this opportunity to get some repairs taken care of. '17 will be in charge again of this restart. My guess is he'll take the outside like he has done the last 2 or 3 times. Lights are off on top of our pace car. That means we're about to go back to green flag racing. We'll try to get some information on the incident limits, and we'll explain those once we go back to green flags. Pace car has dropped off.
Simon took the low line this time.
He did, and the field was kind of backed up a little bit. Quickly up to the high line. A lot of slicing and dicing on this restart.
My guess they're trying to set themselves up for this caution.
Yeah, as we said earlier, we do have a stage break coming up at lap 83. It'll be around lap 83, depending on how things fly. But definitely a challenge there with the 81 on the low line.
Yeah, he didn't get Simon didn't get his very restart this time as he has been.
.182 laps in the books. You do see some movers moving up. Travis Bennett's one to watch, as well as Corey Bunch. Those guys both started at the tail end of the field, and now they're both up in 5 and in 6th position.
Yeah, they're staying pretty closely bunched up front this time.
Definitely working their way back up, trying to get some stage points. Watching the battle going on up at the front as well. Definitely a challenge.
Yeah, Eric giving him some troubles this time.
Oh yeah, a little bit of contact as well. That's Eric Jeffers and Jeff Brogdon there now up front, chasing down the 17 of Simon.
Those are two that are already in the playoffs.
A little contact with the wall with the 12.
Yeah, they're definitely racing for stage points.
Absolutely. With just 9 laps to go before that stage break, the 14 is making a play and will lead at least a lap right here. He is out in front. That's Jeff Brogdon now has taken over the lead. We've got the 01 of Travis Bennett behind, battling door to door with the 17 of Simon Magden.
Looks like Jeff's the one who's taking off this time. Yep, now they're all back to the single file.
Yep, with just a few laps before we go to a stage break, Jeff Brogdon has moved out front over Travis Bennett. Simon Magden is now back into third. Eric Jeffers is in fourth, and Simon's got his hands full because now he's got a challenge with the 12.
Like he got the wall a little bit there.
Well, and Jay Schultz now has worked his way up and around.
He was involved in an incident earlier.
And now he is in third.
Recovering real well.
Yes, he has. So 17 has fallen back, and you know, the guys up front, Brogdon, Bennett, and Schultz, they all pitted on lap 52. They've got fresh tires. They're able to drive their way up to the front in anticipation of this stage break. They timed it perfectly.
Mm-hmm. They sure did.
All right, 14 of Jeff Brogdon is taking us into this stage break. If nothing happens or changes, that caution will fall, and there are stage points for Jeff Brogdon.
Now the ones with the red stripe above the driver's side, those are the playoff contenders, correct?
That is correct. So anybody you see who has got, whether it's in the in our tower, and pretty much the bulk of the racers here tonight, there are only 5 currently who do not are not eligible for the playoffs. But you know, with any good league, they're out here getting around. As I said earlier, a number of these guys in real life were actually at Bristol Motor Speedway to watch the events this weekend. And there it is. There's the stage break. That caution has flown on lap 84. And Jeff Brogdon will win that stage. Your top 10, Brogdon, Bennett, Schultz, Murphy, Magden, Jeffers, Allen, Wenzel, Bunch, and Mills.
And we have 16 cars in the lead lap. And only 1 car out. That's Mr. Hughes.
That is correct. Jason Hale is only down 1 lap. Martin Pinnell is off just 2 laps. So I expect to see at least...
They may stay out.
Yeah, so I expect to see Simon in the 17, Eric Jeffers. Jared Audette has not come down. Michael Whitney has not come down. Those guys I'm expecting. And you know what? They're all coming down. Well, probably at least take fuel. They'll figure out where they're going to take tires here. So
Right. Did we ever figure out how many sets they have?
we're going to go with the 6 that's there, and that's what we're sticking with.
I think that's what we had in the pre-race deal, so. It looks like the majorities.
Yeah, very,
tires.
very few took fuel only. We'll give you an update on that as soon as we get through this cycle of stops. Initially, we can see Richard Mills did fuel only. And he may have been the only one. So I'm thinking the 9 may have gotten a lucky dog and be able to get his lap back.
Yep, he did.
So yes, as reported from our pit reporter, Richard Mills is the only driver who took fuel only and has now found himself in 4th.
So he took tires at lap 52, I assume.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't have the previous information prior to this stop. Jason Hale is still on pit road for an extended period of time. He may be using this to get some repairs made. He does have some damage. You can see it on the right side of that Kelly Blue Book number 9.
Yeah, he's been in 2 incidents already this evening.
All right, lights are off on top of our pace car. We'll be back to going green right about now. Jeff Brogdon is in charge, and off we go. Lap 90 here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
It looks like Simon Magnet started in 5th place that time, and here Trevor's in 8th. So they wound up back in the pack.
Well, now from this point, we've got everybody's pretty much even. They've got fresh tires, fresh fuel. You've really got to play your cards right here and give yourself some time to get some heat to build up in those tires. Right now, we're on. In fact, there's just one car in the wall just a second ago. That is the 12 of Eric Jeffers. Got a little bit loose and wound up in the inside retaining wall.
And it looks like Jason Hale has dropped out of the race.
Yep, Jason Hale has retired.
So we have 2 that have retired so far.
So Travis Bennett is now up front, battling with Jeff Brogdon. Jay Schultz is right there underneath it. So we're definitely battling up front here for position. 27's on that low line. I don't think that works as well as the high line here. In fact, he was super loose right there. He saved it.
Yeah, there's several bumps down there in the corners that fresh tires can really throw you off.
We're keeping an eye on the 27. The track is definitely a little bit sketchy there. 155 laps to go here at Bristol in the iNASCAR Bass Pro Shops 250. Travis Bennett is currently your leader after lap 97, coming to our first 100. Got Jeff Brogdon behind. In fact, what we can do is go on board with the 14 of Jeff Brogdon. We'll do a lap or so. Jeff here. Oh, caution's back out. Richard Mills, Eric Thomas, we missed. So I see Richard Mills, Eric Thomas, and Martin Pinnell were involved. Let's try to see just what happened there. We're following Martin Pinnell right here. Kind of getting a feel for what Martin may have seen. Oh, there we go. Let's back it up just a little bit. Unfortunately, I think he may have gotten collected. Let's back it up. This is the 5 of Richard Mills. I think it's the same situation we saw last time, David. You get coming off the turn, and you wind up going up the track.
And Richard Mills is the one that took fuel only.
You are correct.
So he's got some older tires there.
Got the 55 of Vince Burns behind him. Vince Burns is right there. I'm watching that seam. Definitely some very slight contact, but enough to send the 5 around on that, hitting that right rear.
Yeah, you just couldn't hold it down enough in that corner.
48 gets a little bit involved. 127 is running up.
There was one car that slipped down underneath the 5 there.
Well, and you see that the 50 is also involved. That's Martin Giroux and the 32 of Eric
Martin
Thomas.
has had all sorts of bad luck tonight.
He has. He certainly has. All right, so those guys, as we're watching, they are in the pits. Giroux, Thomas, Mills, Martin, Allen, Briggs, all on pit road getting some repairs done. And we are at lap 102.
I think Martin Pinnell has the most purple car I've ever seen.
He's definitely got some purple on the nose of that car.
See him coming a mile away. Or in this case, half a mile.
Right? We're watching the number 20 of Martin Pinnell.
He's the only car a lap down.
Thought he may have been dropping into pit road, but no, he's elected to stay out. Lights are still on the pace car.
Yeah, I missed pit road once last night. I just drove right by it. I'm used to it being in turn 3 and 4, and this one is in 2. You enter in turn 2.
Then you've got a long road around. So right now, that last pit stop on lap 86, on average, 56, 58 seconds to execute that pit stop.
And that is 4 to 5 laps.
All right, lights are off on top of our pace car. He'll be dropping down momentarily. We'll get this back underway. Travis Bennett is in charge. And the green flag drops again here at Bristol. We are coming up to the halfway point soon.
Almost touching there.
Oh,
Simon
yeah.
Magna.
Yeah, with Corey Bunch, it was close.
It was close. Yeah, Simon dropped back to 5th and 6th earlier, but it looks like he's headed back that way. I think stay off the wall.
93 is challenging for the lead, and he slips under Travis Bennett.
Didn't quite have it.
Yeah, not safe to come up. Not clear, for sure.
He thought about it. Now he's gone now.
A lot of action further on back in the pack. Watching the 30, that is Alex Murphy back here. He's got the 76 of Jared Audette. They're battling for a position back here, working their way up through the field. This is for battles for around the 8th place. That's the 76 of Jared Audette there. He's got Martin Giroux on his outside. Oh, contact. Possibly there with Martin.
Like you said earlier, all of these are playoff drivers fighting for a position.
Yeah, and you know, short tracks are, you know, there's, when you look at the different tracks around the NASCAR circuit, you've got road courses, short tracks, mile and a halves, almost super speedways and super speedways. Each of those, as a driver, there are very few drivers that can be great at all of those different configurations. Especially, and the two buckets or three buckets I see is for specialties is you've got guys who are great drafters and fabulous in those super speedways. You've got guys who are expert on the road courses, and then you've got guys who are great at the short tracks. And it's not for everybody.
No, it's not. And then you got drivers like me that are mediocre at all three.
Well, I think I'm right there with you, David.
I'm not discriminatory.
But short tracks take a set of skills that not every driver possesses. You can get around, but to really be successful, you've got to have a great command of how you get in and off of these corners, and to be really, in control of that throttle, and more importantly, when to apply that brake and not to.
Yeah, in our IWM league, I skipped Richmond earlier this year because I'm not that good on short tracks.
Yeah, Martinsville is another one where it really takes some great skills to get around. So going back and kind of looking at their schedule, so with this league, the next race they're at will be Texas. That's a mile and a half. Then Talladega, and then the Roval. I think we'll be bringing you the Roval as well, which is also a cut race. So they're actually going to have a cutoff race that is a road course.
Ooh, that's going to be tricky.
That'll
like you
be a
said,
challenge.
not everybody does very well at road courses.
Absolutely not. So while we're just talking about the 93 of Corey Bunch has slipped out to over a 1 second lead over Simon Maggia behind him. We've got Travis Bennett. And as you get a look at the board there, you can see the deltas between these drivers, and you can see them beginning to stretch out.
Yeah, I think there's a pretty good battle going on between Whitley, Jeffers, and Schultz back there. They're all 3.5 seconds back.
And looking back at that group, Jeffers and Jay Schultz right there, about a car or so behind. Back a little farther, you got this battle with Jordan Wenzel in the 76 of Jared Audette. That's shaping up pretty good.
Yeah.
Drivers we're watching is Jared Audette. Jared is right there. He is right below the cut line. Simon Magnan is Simon's running up in fourth. He is doing everything he can. Oh, and the caution flies. Martin Pinnell may have been involved in an incident. Just trying to get a feel for what happened with Martin. Backed it up a bit. Oh, with the 5 of Richard Mills.
Richard Mills on them old tires.
Well, I think he may have come in on lap 101 and got that taken care of, but still, we'll see if we can see just what caused this. Now, Richard Mills is up there. He's coming down. You can see him crossing through that seam, and now he's running the low groove. The 20 stays out. He's just, again, we've seen this tonight on more than one occasion. Just a minor bit of contact will spin you around. While we're talking about that, guess what? The entire field is coming down pit road here on lap 128.
We're almost halfway through, or we are halfway through.
Yep, we are halfway through this event here with the iNASCAR Bass Pro Shops 250. This iNASCAR League, Cup League itself, fields drivers with really great skills, high ratings, and it's competitive. You can see it just out there today, even looking at what we've seen these past, 129 laps. Yes, there have been incidents, but for the most part, it's been like there's that minor touch and just good hard racing.
Here, Thomas was running in 12th place. It looks like he came out 5th.
And
maybe
why?
He took 2 tires.
No, he took fuel only.
Fuel.
In fact,
Okay.
Eric Thomas and Jeremy Briggs, based on what we're seeing from our pit information, both took fuel only on that stop on lap 128.
See how much of a disadvantage that puts them at.
Now, if you can do 80 laps with a full tank of fuel, that puts you now. Well, this is 50% fuel, so it'll be a little bit different than what you probably raced last night, David.
Right, need 40 laps. And that would be the reason for the 6 sets of tires. 40 times 6 is 240s.
Yep. So they must be able to get more than 40 laps out of this. You ran 60% last night, which put you at 80 laps. I'm thinking maybe like 60.
Maybe, yeah. That's probably a good calculation. My math skills have deteriorated lately.
It's all good. There'll be no exam at the end of this night. So
when I retired, I decided I didn't need to do math anymore.
Well, we're back under green, and Corey Bunch leads them out. He took the high line, and he has stayed in that. Great jump by the 93 of Corey Bunch to get out there. Got the 01 of Travis Bennett.
Eric Thomas mixed in there, who's not a playoff driver.
Yeah, Eric's right there running fourth. Of course, that getting only fuel at that last stop certainly improved his restart position. Jared Audette, he is currently showing in 8th. He's at that cutoff line. He's trying to get ahead of Simon Magny, who's currently showing in 3rd. Richard Mills currently back there in 13th. Vince Burns, those guys are all on the cut line. Trying to watch what's happening further back here.
That looks like Richard Mills and Matt Allen going at it back in the back.
Could be right. I thought the 48 was blinking a little bit. Just our camera angle. Keep an eye on the field as they make their way past. It's lap 138. Richard Mills getting around the outside of the 94.
Like Michael Whitman and me having some car problems. He's probably back pretty good.
Yeah, he sure is. All right, back up front. Corey Bunch.
1.5 seconds ahead.
Bit of a timing error on our board. It's currently showing him still in the pits, but clearly he is not. 108 laps remain here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Corey Bunch is currently out front by a solid nearly 2 seconds over second place Simon Magin. And behind Simon, you got the 01 of Travis Bennett. That's 1, 2, 3. Eric Jeffers is currently sitting in fourth.
Fifth place, you have Darren Audette. Sixth place, number 81, Jordan Linsell. Seventh place, Alex Murphy.
Alex is right there battling Richard Mills in that 5 car. Michael Whitley in that 94.
Looks like he was having problems earlier. He slowed way down. Like he's back on track now.
50 of Martin Giroux. Jeff Brogdon in the 14 is right there.
Yeah, he just reminded Martin that he's back there.
Well, you know, and Jeff actually had came back down onto pit road and topped off. I'm guessing he topped off fuel.
Yeah.
So Jay Schultz is back in 12th. Got Jeremy Briggs in the 48. Matt Allen.
15th, got Eric Thomas. 16th, Vince Burns. 17th, Martin Grinnell.
Well, we're watching the 32 of Eric Thomas. He's coming onto pit road. I thought. Well, that was weird.
Oh, is he the one that took fuel only earlier?
Looks like he may have come down the long pit road. Came into the backstretch and realized he had to come all the way back around. So that makes a little bit extra time onto pit road for the 32 of Eric Thomas.
And Grinnell is back in the pits again.
He is. Martin's in there. He'll be in there for a while. I believe he is executing repairs on his car. So back out front. Let's go back up with Corey Bunch.
Now has a 2.5 second lead.
He does. And he's got lap traffic, I think, in front of him. That's the 127 of Matt Allen. Works his way by lap traffic. And let's bring up that track map. Maybe that can give us a hint as to what's happening here. So he's got the 48 of Jeremy Briggs and Martin Giroux. That will be the next 2 cars he has to deal with. But he's got a substantial lead over Bennett. Let's drop back to see how those guys are battling. There's definitely a battle for second place between these 2 drivers, the 01 of Bennett and the 17 of Magin. Yeah, I thought there was almost contact there for a second.
Cutting it close.
There's still 95 laps to go, plenty of time. No sense in kind of taking yourself out, because the last thing that the 17 needs is to DNF here. He's got to just, as long as he finishes ahead of that, of Jared Audette. Now Jared's barking, he's right there in 6th, so he's not far behind Simon Magnin. Simon is in 4th, but there's a gap. Jared's down 12, so he's got to make up a significant amount of points over Simon. So he's hoping for bad things to happen, and Simon's hoping for it just to stay status quo for these next 92 laps.
I think Simon went backed off a little bit.
Richard Mills is pretty far back. Richard's in 12th. He's the next driver, and then Vince Burns. Unfortunately, Vince Burns, he's a number of laps down. He's 1 lap down, sorry. All right, so kind of settling down a bit here as we look at these drivers. Corey Bunch continues to show us the way here on lap 162.
Yeah, he's over 3 seconds ahead now.
Another thing to consider here, we'll bring this up is that right now you've got Fords running 1, 2, and 3 out here. Couple of Chevys, Ford again. So Fords are dominating here at Bristol with these drivers. Looking back at Simon Imagine here and Jordan Wenzel. Jordan's taking that lower line. The 17 may have brushed the wall a bit. Did you see that?
He's been doing that quite a bit.
Let's right on board for a lap or so with the 81 of Wenzel. A better shot.
That's the view I saw last night for the better part of 2.5 hours.
So Jordan is taking that mid to low line as he works his way through these corners. The high line is the slightly faster line, but again, now you may see sometimes some drivers try to shift depending on what the gear ratio, gear package was for this track, but this one seems pretty solid, staying in 5th gear.
Yes, I stayed in 5th gear all night last night.
Now, just as a commentary, you know, kind of taking that that path that Jordan is, he's definitely a little bit riskier because it's super easy to catch one of these bumps and maybe jump up a little bit right there. He's having to fight the wheel a bit and counter steer.
Right there.
Yeah.
See that bump? Then again, Simon is picking up the wall there.
Yeah, and unfortunately he's backing up a little bit, different braking zones, and that's putting him right on the nose of Jordan here. I think Jordan knows he's a little faster. If he can just get by the 17, he won't be held up and he can take that higher line, but passing is just so hard.
It is hard. You can't, you know, there's no guarantees. So you can't go down on that high line, but the minute they come out of that corner, that upper lane just accelerates.
Yeah, and looking at that, there was definitely some challenges being faced up here with Travis Bennett. You've got the 48, that's a lap down car that's mixed in there with Jeremy Briggs. And, you know, look at that. That's there's definitely some battling there between lap down cars and lead lap cars right there through this gaggle. They're 3 wide in effect. There's contact with the 17. Oh, spinning.
There we go.
There we go. We're watching. Oh, braking.
Oh.
Come on, guys, slow it up.
Stop.
Well, that incident brings out our 9th caution of the night. Jordan Wenzel, Jared Audette, Jeff Brogdon, all involved in that. Let's see. We saw it live. We'll see if we can bring it back in and. So, you know what? It happens, you know, even though it's to happen, I'm saying it's happening before we get here.
Yeah, they were all battling for position there.
Well, I think the 17, he's on that high side. He's got the 76 on his bumper. The 76 doesn't tap him, but he's darn close, and 17's a little bit loose. There is the contact right there with the 81. Unsettles the 81, but the 14 gets turned.
Domino effect.
76, as they had let off, comes right in. That's Jared Audette. And
Jared had no place to go.
Yep, 14, 81. I think the only thing he could have done was just backed it up just a little bit. We have the ability. Let's see what that looks like. You can go on board with Jared Audette. Yep. Unfortunately, Jared had no place to go. You are correct.
Oh, yep.
Jared's on pit road getting some work done. Number of guys.
It looks like Alex Murphy slipped down below them all and missed all of it.
So here on lap 180, we've got Corey Bunch, Jeffers, Bennett, Magden, Murphy, Whitney, all who have made it in. Audette, Giroux, Jay Schultz, Richard Mills, a lot of folks on. Pretty much the entire field took this opportunity. I rephrase that. I think Jeff Brogdon is still out on track in the 14, although I think he was involved in that. He did not come in.
I don't know. That could be a game changer right there.
Just wondering if they happen to be were they a lap down and all that?
They may have.
All right, well, we'll let the field shake itself out here. Lights are off on top of the pace car. That means we're about to go back to green flag racing here with the iNASCAR Bass Pro Shops 250 brought to you here on the IWM Broadcast Network.
Yeah, we're down to 11 cars in the lead lap.
All right, back under green. Corey Bunch takes us down, jumps out to a great jump on that again. Most of the guys up in front, they all were on pit road. They got fresh tires and fuel, hoping to get with 68 laps to go. That was their last stop. Now, Jeff Brogdon, who is the last car on the lead lap, he did not come down pit road. He pitted last on lap 30. He may be gambling that there aren't going to be any more. Well, he's probably gambling that there's going to be at least one more yellow flag condition.
Right. Be nice to run all the way to the end.
Well, I think Corey Bunch is hoping for that, as is Eric Jeffers. That's what Simon wants. He wants us to he'll finish in fourth. He's got a gap between him and Jared Audette that'll keep that spread apart, so he will be able to maintain his position.
Yeah, all of the non-playoff cars are either in the pit or out of the race.
Yep, big bank of red up there, spots 1 through 14. Matt Allen is on pit road getting some work done. Travis Bennett is now headed down pit road. And we're watching Corey Bunch extend his lead a bit over Eric Jeffers. And they themselves over the 17 car and the 30 of Murphy.
Back down to 9 cars in the lead lap.
Bring it back up our track map again. You can see that we're getting this spread out a good bit here. We're jumping back. Let's highlight Corey Bunch here.
He's running a great line.
And he's pretty clean. He won't see the 14 car of Jeff Brogdon. He's got at least a full front straightaway plus a corner between himself and the 14. Now the 14 ran that last lap by the 14 was a 15.43. These leaders just ran a 14.71. It'll not be long before Corey Bunch is able to chase down the 14 car.
Yeah, it's going to come up quick. Almost 0.7 of a second per lap.
He's already made up nearly half that distance, just the laps we've been talking about it, so.
He's pretty much let Eric Jeffers in the dust there.
Yeah, he sure has. We'll go on board with Corey Bunch. You can see in front of him that car that's there is the 14 of Jeff Brogdon. Jeff is the last car on the lead lap.
He's running the low line. Oh, and he's leaking too. And hitting the wall.
Goodness.
He's just got all sorts of problems.
He's trying his best to stay out in front, but he's getting chased down pretty quickly. His tires are a little bit older. Jeff last took tires lap 130.
He's being chased by a state trooper's car there.
Yeah, he sure is.
Corey Bunch.
Law is on his tail. Well, Law has now passed him. He's gone. All right, that's lap 250 more laps to go here in Bristol. Oh, and again, tagging the wall. Not good for that right side of that car.
Oh.
You can see the scrapes he's got on that right side.
It's like me driving on the street. You see that police car behind you, and you automatically slow down below the speed limit and breathe a sigh of relief when he runs right by you.
Yep, he had better things on his mind. All right, Corey Bunch continues to lead here in Bristol. Eric Jeffers is currently showing in second. Simon Magin is in third. Michael Whitley in fourth. Alex Murphy in fifth. Jared Audette in sixth. Martin Giroux is in seventh, and Jay Schultz in eighth. Jeff Brogdon, now a lap down, is in ninth, as is Vince Burns. Vince Burns also a lap down. Now, caution comes out now. Brogdon has an opportunity to get his lap back with the lucky dog, as well as take care of service. Looking back to the field, this is the next battle amongst these drivers. This is Magin, Whitley, and Murphy all battling right here. They're all battling for that fourth spot.
Yeah, they realize the end's getting close.
Yeah, laps begin to tick away here. When you think about we're going to do 4 laps a minute here and just 45 laps to go. They're less than 12 minutes from figuring out who wins and who does not make the cut.
Mr. Bunch up there is praying for no cautions.
Field has kind of gotten themselves spread out. A number of guys who have retired. Fortunately, we've got Travis Bennett now in the pits making some repairs. Matt Allen also in the pit. Jeff Brogdon is now coming down pit road. Not thinking he was going to stay out there any longer. Eric Thomas has retired. Jason Hale has retired, and Dan Hughes has retired. All right, 40 or so laps to go here in Bristol. And again, I want to thank you for tuning in to the broadcast. We appreciate you using this sport and bringing these leagues and these races to you each and every week. We appreciate what you do when you follow us and keep up with what happens on the IWM Broadcast Network. We show our followers have grown exponentially over this past year, and it's all because of you for tuning in and subscribing. So we thank you for that.
Give us a like.
Yeah, more importantly, subscribe so you can hear and keep up with what happens on the IWM Broadcast Network. again, as we said earlier, will be next week on Wednesday night with the Tech for Troops Cup Series. Will be in Florida at Homestead for their first round of 10. That's a playoff race, and will return here with this league in 3 weeks to cover their, not here at this track, but here with this league at the Charlotte Oval.
That's always an interesting race.
Absolutely.
I certainly like it better than the Texas one, the Coda.
You know, again, another, NASCAR this year has added a number of road courses to the schedule, and there is not one that's any more difficult than the road race at Circuit of the Americas, or COTA, with 20 turns. It's just challenging. These typical drivers aren't used to that F1 style of track.
Yeah, I practiced for about 3 straight days and never got any better, so I finally just decided I don't think it's worth my time to run the race.
Now, there are some tracks that I personally love. Sonoma, Watkins Glen. Those are classic NASCAR road courses.
Watkins Glen I can do pretty good at. I like Watkins Glen. But that COTA track has so many odd turns in it.
Well, it's flat too. So
yes, it's flat.
Yep. So at least with Watkins Glen, my old mind trying to work its way up through those corners, I can memorize. Okay, I've got the S's, I've got the bus stop. I can work my way through the track, and I know where those corners are. When I've got 20 turns and different braking zones to remember, that's not me.
Right. And the funny part is they built it in, it's called the Hill Country of Texas, but they didn't incorporate any hills in it.
Right.
Or that's what they consider a hill in Central Texas, I guess.
All right, we got 29 laps to go here. Corey Bunch continues to show us the way. He is working his way up through lap traffic. He's got the 48 of Jeremy Briggs in front of him. Jeremy is also right now just 1 lap down, but in danger of going 2 laps down here. Simon continues to, as we try to drop back through the field here. Eric Jeffers is right there, not far back, about a second and a half behind Corey Bunch. And then you've got Simon back there. Simon Magic in the 17 is solid third. He did start on the pole, but he's run a great race.
Yes, he has.
He was right there on the cut line. This is the race he needed. Of course, there's 25 laps to go. Anything can happen. But if he continues to run how he's run all night, then he will do well and advance to the next round.
And I assume everybody thinks they're safe on fuel at this point. So.
Yeah, I think they pinned it last on lap 178. That's just around 68 or so laps to go. And the course with 50% fuel, that may be tight. I don't know. We did see Jeff. I will say we did see Jeff Brogdon go in around lap 207. There's a good chance that maybe they're not safe. Maybe there's still one more pit stop that has to occur, and Jeff Brogdon is playing the long game.
Yeah, he's 4 laps down.
Yeah, but if you're going to go in under green flag conditions, you're going to be 4 laps down too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so as we work our way back through the field, Michael Whitley is in 4th. He's in that 94. Behind him, on his tail, is that 30 of Alex Murphy, who's trying to go up and under, and that is a position swap. That is a battle for 4th. Jared Audette is right there as well. Something happens. Jared wants that position. You saw the 94 just running down that safer barrier on the outside, and he gives up that position with 19 laps to go to Alex Murphy.
He's going to go under the 94. Or was.
They're making their way past. I think that's Jai Schultz that's back there. But now the 76 of Jared Audette is trying to make his way up, work his way around Michael Whitney. Again, that will be for position. That will be for 5th. 17 laps to go. Can they make it with the fuel they have? That's the big question.
That's the big question. So a car is the lead lap.
We'll keep our eye as soon as we see Corey Bush. Now, Corey Bush, I will say that last lap he ran was a 15.76. Eric Jeffers was a 15.97. Lots of laps in the 16 range. The question is, are they clutching it? Are they trying to save fuel with 13 laps to go? Or can they make it around? Don't know.
Looks like Brogdon gave one of his laps back. He's only 3 laps down now.
Well, he's got fresh tires. That is certainly going to help him. Laps to go.
That's 5th place.
Jared Audette worked his way around. Got himself by the 94 of Michael Whitney. Now he has setting his sights on the 30.
And to go.
Alex Murphy.
There's so harsh. I don't think anybody's going to catch him. That's about
with
Corey Bunch.
Right? I'm thinking that with 8 laps to go, you've got to have enough fuel in the tank.
Yeah.
It's just going to be all that speculation on our part was that we thought maybe that Brogdon had something up his sleeve, but looks like they saved enough fuel and the leaders will be able to make it around with 7 laps to go. Corey Bunch has a 2.5 second lead over Jeffers. About the same delta between Jeffers and Madsen. Six laps to go.
Just put another car lap down.
Yep, I think that's the 48 again.
So he's got clean sailing.
Just 3 laps to go. We're watching our leader, Corey Bunch.
Follett, Tennessee.
2 laps to go. Of course, laps happen so quickly here in Bristol. About to go to the white flag. Next time by. Final lap here at Bristol with the iNASCAR Bass Pro Shops 250. Your leader, Corey Bunch. Looks like he is going to take a victory here and punch his ticket into the next round of the playoffs. Congratulations to Corey Bunch. As soon as we get the final final results in. We will show those to you.
That makes 3 into the playoffs now. 3 moving ahead.
So they'll shake out the points. We don't have access to who made the cut, but I think based on what I'm seeing, that I believe that everybody will have punched their ticket through that was eligible in the top 12. Team's taking a picture right there. We'll take off the driver details, but congratulations to Corey Bunch.
Yes, congratulations, Mr. Bunch. Nice race.
Mr. Jeffers and Alex Murphy right there. Let's try to get a tighter shot. There's Corey celebrating his victory. And I think we do have the results. Here they are. Go ahead, Mr. Watts.
First place we have Mr. Corey Bunch, Full Throttle Motorsports, followed by Eric Jeffers in second place, Full Throttle Motorsports. Alex Murphy in third, Rumble Racing. Simon Magnan was a privateer. And Mr. Jared Audette, fifth place.
All right, Michael Whitney is in sixth, Martin Giroux in seventh, Jeremy Briggs finishes in eighth, Jay Schultz in ninth, 10th is Vince Burns.
In our 11th place is Jeff Brogdon. 12th is Jordan Winsell. 13th, Richard Mills. 14th, Travis Bennett. 15th, Matt Allen. 16th, Eric Thomas. 17th, Martin Pinnell. 18th, Jason Hale. 19th, Mr. Dan Hughes.
All right, that wraps up our actual racing. Now we can jump in. Let's see who is available to speak with us. I think Mr. Alex Murphy is in the waiting room. Let's bring Alex into the broadcast booth. Alex, congratulations. You survived.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on your P3 finish.
Thanks.
You have any particular problems tonight?
No, I just kept it clean as best I could. Actually, just 0 incident points tonight at Bristol on the 250 lapper is pretty good for me.
Yeah, that's
pretty good for anybody.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, I just kept it clean, took my time, tried to save tires as best I could, and worked out in the end.
Yeah, we saw, as Bristol is one of those tracks where you've got to find what groove works best for you and your driving style. Did you find hanging that in that high line was the best way around for you?
Yeah, high line seemed to be better for saving tires and a little bit faster for me. Maybe running high middle would have been faster, but harder on the tires.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, congratulations. It's obviously you're already right there and making it to the next round of the playoffs, but we'll see you next time when we come in. We'll be joining you for the Roval. That should be interesting. So when the IWM Broadcast Network comes back to iNASCAR.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
All right, let's see if we can bring in Mr. Eric Jeffers. Eric, congratulations on your second place finish.
Yeah, thank you. It was a pretty good night.
It sure was, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about, obviously Corey Bunch was the winner, that's your teammate. Tell us a little bit about, did you prepare much for Bristol, or this is just Bristol and this is it? So,
Bristol typically isn't very good to me, which I'm pretty happy about the result tonight. But, I really had no pressure this week after the win. After the win last week, I could just kind of come in here tonight and try to get a win, but in the end, it didn't really matter, I guess, So, ran a good race and had fun, and said I'm typically not too good here, so I'm happy with second.
Well, there's a lot to be said when you can come in kind of relaxed and just let the race come when you don't have pressure like that. So, it certainly showed you were certainly smooth as we watched you go around. Did you have a preference as far as what line felt better for you as you ran around?
Yeah, I think the speed was up top, but if you could make the bottom work, I think that helped save the tires a little bit. I tried to run middle low as much as I could, and I was pretty good on the long run. My tires were better than my teammates for most of the night until that last run, apparently, and I cooked it trying to run Corey down.
Any shout outs tonight?
Shout out to Matt and all the admins for the league. This league has come a long ways from where we started the season. We have fun in here every week, and congrats to Corey. If you can't win, you want a teammate to win, and looking forward to the next round.
Sounds great. Well, there's your second place finish, Eric Jeffers. Corey Bunch joins us in the booth. Corey, congratulations on your win here.
Oh, thank you. This is absolutely huge. I can't tell what a greater win would come about with. I thought Kansas would have been like, maybe my first career win in this league. That would be in the top of the line. But this goes above it because this is a personal win for myself and for the sponsor, Tennessee State Troopers. I've got on the car tonight to win out of my hometown. This is awesome.
I was kind of wondering if this was your home track.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm like, well, I say hometown. I mean, it's in the Tennessee area, but I'm like 2 hours from the racetrack. So, and I'll actually be over there Saturday night. So, but yeah, it was just awesome. Just out of all my years of sim racing, I always wanted to win Bristol, and finally, we get it done.
You sure drove a nice line tonight.
Yeah, it was a little bit of experimenting because we don't have a lot of practice because I know the last time we was here was in the Bristol dirt, so kind of really had no baseline of where to start from. So I was just trying to look at other leagues, how they was running, and even affixes, and trying to just get whatever data I could to know what would work. And I think in that last restart, going to the checkered, I think I found what worked for me and paid off.
Well, it certainly showed you ran a great race. You were definitely distancing yourself. Of course, Eric was trying to catch back up to you, but again, congratulations on your win. Any shout-outs tonight?
Oh, yeah, I got a few, actually. First of all, I got to thank a gentleman on Trading Paints, Rick Smith, who made this car over here. It was just pretty fitting for me and Michael Whitley to do a little state trooper appreciation night over here in Bristol, with me being with Tennessee and him doing Virginia. And also got to thank a fellow Tennessee state trooper buddy of mine, Officer Phillips, that, I appreciate his service for, just everything he does for the community. Wanted to win it back for him, and, was able to get it done. And then, of course, just the Full Throttle Motorsports. This team, we win together. We lose a lot together. We know how to really screw with each other as far as like when it comes to races and stuff. But when it comes down to it, we if it's not the individual winning, we hope for a teammate to win. So it's just hats off to everyone in the team. And I'm just stoked, and this makes up for Kansas really bad. This makes up for Kansas because last week dropped connection before the stage end, and it gave us a sour 15th place finish. So I was pretty bummed about that. So I was kind of hoping, well, if I could just survive, we would be on to the next round, and then we win the whole thing. So it's just a shock.
Well, congratulations on your win, Corey. We'll look forward to seeing you when IWM comes back to iNASCAR. We'll be back for the Roval, which will be the next round cut race, and we look forward to seeing you there. Again, congratulations on your win for yourself and your team, and we'll see you back here soon.
Sounds good. Hopefully by the next time I come to talk to you, I'll be above the cut line at Roval, so we'll fingers crossed.
There you go. All right, so that's it from the IWM broadcast booth here with the iNASCAR Bass Pro Shops 250. Your winner, Corey Bunch, and we hope to see y'all in a few weeks at the next race. So again, thank you, and have a great night.
Thanks, everyone.